Hi, I'm Kit from Minor Conflict, and this is Vox-Feed, where we sit around and talk shit about the game that we love. Today we have Alan,
Yo,
and Monty, and James.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about some 40k
stuff.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Say hi.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Damn. If you're watching this, feel free to jump over to Spotify or wherever podcasts are, and you can listen to it. If you're listening to it, it'll be up on the YouTube channel as well. How's your week been, guys?
Good.
Yeah?
Good. Just had time off work, so painting a bit of the house.
Oh, nice.
Not minis.
More productive.
Just the house.
I've
Real
kit
stuff.
bashed my exalted champion out of a slaughter priest.
He looks fucking cool.
He does look
I will
cool,
paint
yeah.
him. I've primed him now, so it'll be the painting. The idea is I'm gonna give him like a red undercoat because he's gonna be leading the berserkers,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna go over that red undercoat, red like armor tone with like probably the black contrast, so the red still just comes through.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, through where it thins out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that'd
might
be
be
cool.
fucking cool, eh?
Because yeah, I've got lore of my little thing where they just kind of go around and pick up the guys who've been left behind. So
Oh,
these will be some like world eaters that got left behind, and they're just like, oh, yeah.
Paint over the red?
Yeah, just paint over. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's
Just
pretty
throw some
good.
paint on it, should be
That's
right.
pretty good. You finally got your Repentia done.
yes, all 18 of them. All finally done. I was so happy to finally have them off the table and finish.
They're pretty ladies.
I am stoked.
Pretty ladies with thick thighs.
I'm
Yeah,
super happy with them. They are thick. They are thick for the Emperor. But
Whoa.
Whoa.
PG-13, man. PG-13.
Family show.
Yeah.
this ain't no fucking family
Yeah,
show.
they know, fucking family show.
No, let's throw another fucking F one.
Yeah. Three square hat trick.
They are quite disturbing when you actually look at them because the self-mutilation that they do.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
They're pretty dunked up.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah,
Pretty rough.
they're pretty cool.
But like, obviously, still within the safe realms of GW.
Yeah, as long violence is okay.
Yeah,
Violence is
no,
okay.
no.
Tits aren't. It's
Yeah.
that's just the world we
live in.
Yeah,
That's definitely the world we live in.
sex, no.
Yeah, that's right.
and ghosts. I had ghosts in my house last night, but besides that, everything's been alright.
What?
I was like late at night, and I just got this eerie feeling, and then at that moment, I heard this crash, like in my kitchen. So I had to go downstairs, and this broom, which I keep in the broom closet, was like on the floor. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's ghosts.
Yeah,
It's
ghosts.
definitely
It's
ghosts.
100% ghosts. So I
Yeah.
just went back.
We live in a city where there's earthquakes, but that was definitely ghosts.
That was ghosts.
Definitely ghosts.
Yeah.
I've been shooting for 2 days straight, and I'm exhausted. So that's all I've got. to
Video.
talk about. Yeah. That one, not
That one.
that one.
But we did do that on Saturday.
I did airsoft on Saturday for the
Yeah,
first
you
time
finally came
in
out.
forever.
All of us. It's the first time we have all of
Yeah.
us have been together for a long time.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
the other hobby.
That was cool.
Airsoft.
That was really cool.
Good
Do we need to? What do they call? Do they call it something different in America?
No, it's still airsoft in America.
So we shoot BB guns at each other in a forest.
Yeah. Just look it up at CSG Google Canterbury Software Group.
Can we still be GCG? Haven't been a member for 5 years.
Come out and play sometime. It's all good.
That was good. Fuck, my legs were sore for like 3 days after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a good weekend.
Yeah.
But I said like after that on the Sunday, I bloody ended up going out Mount Thomas.
You went to the gym afterwards. You're fucking insane. And then climbed a mountain.
I went to bed. And
Yeah, I had a shower. That's what I did.
I've still got to go to the gym after this because I was painting the house all day. So I haven't had the chance.
I'm done talking to you. I'm done with it.
He's been influenced by a slaughter priest.
Yeah.
That's the body goal.
I also want to say apologies to Henry for last episode where his mic died within the first 30 seconds. And he was a very quiet boy.
Oh.
That's why he's not back this week.
Yeah. He was very upset about it.
Yeah.
No. So last week we said we were going to talk about missions.
Yep.
And this week we're going to talk about missions.
We
funny
people
that.
of our words.
How about it? Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, because
So I guess the tournament pack really.
yeah,
is
the
what we're
tournament
gonna
pack is what we actually care about.
Yeah.
There's the match play rules, but I don't understand what's the point of them if they're not balanced.
Tournament and match play are the same. Well, kind of should be the same thing, right?
Should be.
At least in my mind.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, well, I would figure because originally before they in 9th edition now they've gone tournament book. Match play was the tournament stuff in 8th, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So before we had open play, match play, and that was it. Was
Narrative.
Narrative.
Narrative was your third. Open was the power level one.
Oh yeah.
Narrative was basically building around the scenario, and match was your actual tournament stuff,
But now we
But
have
really, there were just two:
which were
open play and and.
let's be realistic. There was one.
Well, yeah, there was mostly one.
It was-
No, because if you were playing open play, you were just playing narrative play with your own rules.
well, open play
So
is
it's-
there was
Yeah,
no
but
restrictions.
no one ever played open play because they always made their list based around points.
Yeah.
And the
So-
rules,
Because
the
points
rule
are
of
balanced.
threes and all these.
Even when you're playing stupid games with your friends that are completely like, oh, I'll just keep throwing stuff at you and it'll keep coming back. You still use points because
Yeah.
that's the most effective way to measure your units.
Yeah.
and they balance the game.
Yeah. So just go away, power level. Go away.
We don't care
Stop
about
corrupting our
Get out.
game with like power level instead of points for Crusades.
It's
Whatever,
ridiculous.
So-
ridiculous.
I personally don't see much point in having these two different things. They should have just been rolled up into one. But anyways, that's what we have. And the tournament pack is slightly different. I mean, it does. If you play match, you do have a few options you don't have in tournament play.
The main
because
one
they're-
being
The main one being is you can't use specialist attachments in tournament play.
Because 9th edition's still going to use all your books, so hold on to those books.
Yeah.
Make sure you hold them. No changes here.
So make sure don't get rid of your books, guys, because you are going to be able to use them in every single game apart from the ones that you actually want to play.
Yes. You could just play the narrative ones with all the other losers. And not losers.
Yeah.
I still don't get it. If you're playing narrative, you're just making it up, so you don't really need the rules anyway.
Exactly. You just do what you want to do.
So it's
Well,
man,
because narrative,
Guys.
every
this is delicious.
expansion book, your Psychic Awakenings had narrative games in it.
Yeah.
So that was all the narrative was. So it kind of specified everything anyway.
I don't feel like you need someone to write narrative rules for you. 'cause
No, you
we,
just do it. You do what you want, man.
like at the beginning of 8th, we had that narrative game we played where we had one character model each. And then we just kept playing with the swarm of hormigons coming in from the edge of the tables.
Yeah.
And we just trying to survive, and you had one guy left at the top of the tower.
That's
We should do that again.
That
We
was a
should
lot
build
of fun.
that was fucking fun.
That
Horde
was-
mode was great.
Mm.
If you guys okay, so horde mode, complete tangent. But if you have like a couple of like 4 buddies, you basically build like a badass HQ unit.
Yeah.
And then just throw like cultists or hormigons, and then every turn something like bigger will show up, and
Yeah.
then the next turn something bigger will show up, and then the next turn something bigger, and you just like survive as long as
Sorry,
you can.
live.
Yeah,
run
it's
around,
real
hide.
fun.
It
It's
does.
real fun.
There was something we did with the actual HQ units, wasn't there? Like we kind of spec'd them.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was it?
You
Was
had
it-
you had like 100 points to spend on an HQ unit or something like
Yeah,
that.
and you put whatever
Really?
war gear you wanted and make
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
you
yeah.
wanted.
And you can give them relics and warlord traits.
We just didn't care. We just
but
like,
then
do
and
what
the
you
warlord
want.
traits could interact with the other ones,
Yes.
which was kind of
So
broken,
you
but
could-
it didn't matter
It didn't matter because
because you were on the
Yeah,
same
well,
team.
we all died anyways.
Yeah.
yeah.
We weren't running
we weren't-
Fields of Ruin for that, were we?
No, we,
No, I don't think
No.
we were.
we were just doing what we wanted to do.
Yeah. So horde mode's a real good time.
So anyway, no specialist attachments. That's the main thing. And the roll of 3 is cited in the tournament pack, and I'm pretty sure it's not cited in the match play pack.
Oh,
No,
no.
so match play,
I
the
missed
rule
that.
of 3 is no more unless specified by the
Mission, yeah. Whereas tournament pack is specifically for the 2,000 point version, it's 3. For the 1,000 point version, it's 2.
No 1500 point,
No 1,500 points, just 1,000, 2,000.
Yeah.
Go big.
which I think makes sense. I get it.
It makes sense. I mean, I don't think because they're writing the mission specifically for the mission sizes, so there's no point. The more they add, the more bloat and
Yeah,
more
yeah.
bloat.
And there's already quite a bit of bookkeeping to do.
There's a lot of bookkeeping.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of secondary objectives.
Yeah. So should we talk about the secondaries first and
Yes.
how they work?
So basically, each every primary mission has its own secondary that you can choose from.
That you can choose. So that's important.
Yeah. So you choose 3, and they cannot be from the same table. Or the
Yeah.
same
So there
section.
are 5 tables. 4 tables.
5 tables plus the missions.
5 tables, and when you play a mission, you have the primary mission,
Mhm.
and then you get to choose your 3 secondary missions, which can either be one from either of the 5 sections, so you can't pick more than one from each of the sections of secondaries, or you can pick the specific secondary for the mission, which you might not do, and we'll talk about that
Because some of them are
when
terrible.
we get to it, because
Just a general oversight of the secondary missions. They're very hard to max out the points.
Yeah, which I think is good.
Yeah. I mean, if you do somehow max out and some of them are impossible. Some of them just don't give you the 15 points. You just can't get 15 points for some of these
Yeah.
secondary objectives.
But they're easier to get. So it's all kind of risk reward.
Yeah.
Which is
and what this
I was
allows you
gonna
to
say-
do is you can build.
Balance.
I mean, when people start getting big brain about 9th edition and start understanding it more, start building the armies and people figuring out what they're going to do,
Get all skew with.
you can actually build armies to skew this. You can make it so that, if you pick this secondary, you can't pick any secondary and max it out against my army because I have this,
Insane build that just denies you secondary points.
exactly.
basically.
Which I feel like this is the main thing about the missions is denial, opponent denial.
Yeah, the game's gone from like, I'm going to do stuff to I'm going to stop you doing stuff.
Yeah, that's the main goal now. And taking and controlling territory.
Yeah. Or I think it's almost more denying your enemy taking control.
Exactly, by taking it yourself.
Yeah.
So let's go to the first ones. Battlefield Supremacy, which is basically a sort of mobility and control type objective.
Yes, this is your board control objective.
Yeah, so the first one is called Engage on All Fronts. Nope, I've lost it.
Engage on all fronts. Looks to be like the default secondary one because I think it's relatively easy. It's kind of based around having shit in every quarter.
Yeah. So basically you get, I think
Holy
it's...
in every quarter.
Yeah, so the table, you basically, in your head, divide the table into quarters. And then I think you get 2 victory points or 3 victory points.
Yep, so you get 3 victory points.
I think you get 3 for holding 3 of the quarters, and then 4 for holding 4 of the quarters.
So you hold 2 quarters, and you're 6 inches away from the center of the board.
Yeah, so you can't be right in the edge of that quarter.
You have to be wholly within the quarter as well.
Yeah, so you
it's-
can't spread a unit across.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you get 2 points if you control 2 of the quarters, and 3 points if you control 3 of the quarters. This seems to be the default one. Everyone seems to go towards this one.
Well, it's pretty easy to do because the board's smaller, so you've got more movement in general.
And arguably straight off the bat,
You're holding
if
2 of
you're
them.
on a flatline deployment, you're
You're already holding 2 of them. Yeah.
The only time this is not going to be
And it's
straight
this,
off the bat is when you're on diagonals.
And this is progressive, so you score each turn. So it may seem like a small victory point, like 2 victory points, like whatever, but that's every turn. So it does. If you're just holding your own ones, you're looking at what? 10 points?
Yeah.
Just for sitting in, just for having units in your own
10
deployment.
points across 5 turns. Yeah.
And there's no, like, if it doesn't matter if your opponent's in that deployment zone or not.
No, it doesn't.
So it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's. I feel like it's a little bit too easy to do compared to the other ones. That just seems to be the one everyone's going to go for. It's like, I can't choose. I don't know. I'm just going to go with this one. It's.
And it stacks well with the primary objectives because the primary objectives are mostly hold control points,
But again,
hold objectives.
yeah.
And they're all the way they're already specifically set up. There's generally one in each quarter.
Yeah.
Generally
So
speaking.
straight off the bat, you've got 2 objectives and you're holding 2 quarters.
The interesting thing about this is that you don't score at the. Do you score at the end of your turn? Or at the end of the turn? Because you can deny this from your opponent.
End of your turn.
At the end of your turn? Oh, so you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems weird. That seems weird to
Yeah,
me. I feel like if your opponent puts 1 unit in that table quarter, you should get a chance to shoot it out.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because like there'd be those armies that are fast. First turn, they boost over the halfway marker, and they're on 4.
No, well, you can't score in the first turn. You don't have to worry about it.
Secondaries you can.
Secondaries you can?
It's primaries you can't.
Primaries you can't.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. I'm gonna double check.
I thought it was
that.
everything, but if you can hear squeaking, Monty's got his little toy. Its name is Angus, and he's given it a real good hearty squiggle. Bring it up, come on.
It doesn't say anything about not being able to score them in the first turn.
So it must just be the primaries then.
Yeah.
I think I got the wrong end of the stick. Sorry, guys.
Line breaker is the next one. Score 4 victory points at the end of your turn if 2 or more units from your army, excluding aircrafts, are wholly within your enemy's deployment zone.
So it has to be 2 of them.
2.
Yeah.
Wholly within.
So in the deployment zone.
Yeah.
So it's
The enemy's
that'd be
deployment
damn
zone.
near impossible to get first turn, but
For some armies.
For some, I mean, if you're fast enough,
The only
you got
things
bikes.
I can.
so what you're having to cover just over 24 inches, depending on the angle, because it's 14, yeah. So yeah,
doable.
You know,
Not easy.
How
but
fast?
for 2 units,
How fast?
because you only use 1 warp time.
A regular Space Marine bike moves 14.
I'm not worried about the bike. I'm the
Moves
transport.
6, so 20-inch move.
The transport.
So you're still too short.
The transport?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the repulsor. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think if you're advancing, you'd be able to bust.
But
Oh, no, because you can move it and then jump out.
And then advance the unit. So.
Yeah. So you might be able to do it. But that's a lot. That's a lot to do.
So
that's a lot.
It's practically a sacrifice.
So you score 4 points.
It's a roadblock for your enemy too.
So you score 4 points at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
If you have to.
And that's also progressive. So if they stay there for an extra turn.
Yeah. So to get max points, you need to be there for 4 turns.
Which is hard to do.
Which is damn near impossible.
Oh, yeah,
and especially when the other one is also in this thing, which is way better.
Yeah.
Games very rarely go past the 4th turn anyway, so if you're not getting the first turn.
Well, they have 5 turns now. Games of 5 turns, we know.
Yeah.
Oh, like.
Fixed. 5 turns.
Like
5 turns. Nope. 5
turns.
You get 5 turns to do your thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow.
Next one is domination. Score 3 victory points if you control more than half the total number of objective markers on the battlefield at the end of your turn. I think this is different in the player pack. I think the player pack one says 3. And you hold 3 objective markers. Because the one I'm reading is from the match play one. So there are a few little differences.
Okay.
So you need to accomplish this across all 5 turns to get max points.
Yeah, but again, this is one of those good ones that this one stacks real well with just doing the primary.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you're only going to get it like, if you get it once or twice in a game, like you're already fucking doing real well.
Yeah. I can imagine like Death Guard, Rhino.
Yeah, late turn. Yeah, actually, yeah.
You just like bum rush to turn 1 and then you're just going to keep picking it over.
Yeah.
It depends on your play.
Still think that the first one's better.
Yeah, the first one's still better. I think the first one's better.
Table quarters is still better.
Achievable.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to achieve, and it's a lot
turn.
harder for the opponent to deny.
Exactly. That's the key thing.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's impossible for them to deny because you get it in your turn. So first turn, automatically with that one, can potentially get a full secondary first turn with no recourse.
Yeah, exactly.
Next one is no mercy, no respite. So this is like killy missions Mark 1.
Yeah, so this is the next like section of secondaries. Yeah.
All right. The explanation is very long-winded, but basically, for every model you kill, you get 1 point. For every model with 10 points, every model you kill with 10 points, you get 10 points.
So this is
10 wounds.
You talking about
10 wounds.
So you get a wound for every model you kill, or you get 10 points if that model has more than 10 wounds.
So you're talking about the secondary objective, thin your ranks.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you add that number up, and at the end of the battle, you divide it by 10, rounding down, and that's the amount of victory points you get. So what does that mean? It means you have to kill 150 infantry models.
150 infantry models to get 15 points.
Well, not 150 infantry models, 150 models under 10 wounds.
Yeah, and then a couple of 10 wound models. Yeah. It's, I mean, if you're playing, and again, you're picking these when you're at the table.
Yeah, exactly. So
this is how we used to do extra warlord traits, which we can't do that way anymore.
Yeah.
So when you get to your table and you see the guy's got Gene Stealer cults, you go, fuck yeah!
Yep. Gonna take this, gonna thin your ranks.
Or he has like, just a bunch of guardsmen, you just go, yup!
100 guardsmen, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, a couple of rusters.
Exactly.
Yeah, a couple of Russes, cherries on top.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still not going to be easy because you're going to pretty much have to wipe out their army to get max points.
So this is the other thing. Killing is not as important in the game anymore. So this is kind of almost divesting like what you want to be doing and distracting you from what you actually want to be doing, which is the primary, which is holding objectives. So if you're focusing on killing stuff, you're giving up your moving on to stuff, right? So if you're getting in that position where like, oh, I want to advance this unit of intercessors, but if I do, I won't be able to shoot that unit that I want to try and kill to get kill points.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, especially with vehicles and monsters being able to move and fire heavy weapons now, it's still plausible to do both of those.
Yeah.
For some. Yeah, for sure.
Plausible.
It's plausible. I mean, and
it's not bad.
And again, you're not forced to take any of these, so you can always choose.
Exactly.
And you don't have, like, against custodes, hell no. You're not taking that.
Shit, no.
No way.
Next one is grind them down. It's pretty basic. You just got to kill more units than your opponent. So if they kill 2 units, you got to kill 3 units.
Yeah.
That's
It's
basically
it's kill more.
Yeah, it's perfect
Yeah.
for your like low number, high strength armies.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
custodes
Well-
and your knights.
I don't know if it is that good for knights because if there's a lot of MSU running around, you're shooting your Gatling cannon into like a unit of 5 boys. That's a fucking waste of a Gatling cannon.
Yeah, but then you go kick the heads in the 5 more boys.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay.
But that's the thing that I think people forget about knights and
They still stomp.
any Titanic creatures. You can't just be shooting with them. You need to be kicking
No.
heads in.
Yeah.
Even
You
with,
need to be hitting as well.
yeah.
But then you can advance. I guess you can full tilt, which allows you to advance and charge with one of your
There's
knights.
options.
And then now they
Yeah.
just shoot in combat as well. So
Well, I
it's
mean-
like,
If you're a Chaos Knight army or an Imperial Knight army, you maybe have 3 to 5 models on the table. So this is almost a given.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're gonna get.
It depends what you're up against. But,
exactly.
Yeah.
Custodes, Harlequins, you know.
but there's actually a catch for this one that I noticed. You got to be careful about how quickly you kill the opponents. You might have one round where you just actually dunk them, and then they don't have enough units left later for you to actually score your points.
There was always a thing in ITC. You didn't want to overkill at the
Yeah.
beginning because then you screwed yourself in the later turns of the game where they were killing your stuff.
Yeah.
And you were like, well, I already killed it all. Like, what am I gonna?
Because you max out your points for the one turn, you don't get more.
Yeah, you don't get more for killing more.
Yeah.
You just get more for killing more.
Exactly.
So you gotta pace yourself, guys.
It's an interesting one.
Ration.
If you took it as the first turn, because you have to guess how many you have to kill.
Yeah.
To beat how many
That's
you're gonna kill.
Yeah.
Like-
It's all fun and games, man.
Yeah, well, if I stop at 15.
But then if you
And I
rank,
get
You're
more
like
than
15.
15.
I think you've already done it.
but again, it's generally speaking, if you're an Imperial Knight or Chaos Knights, you only got to kill 2 units. Because hopefully you should only have ever lost 1 knight per turn.
You can lose 2 nights per turn.
If you've lost 2
With
knights,
the way terrain's working now, you can lose 2 nights
you
per
can.
turn.
You can always can. We've seen that happen.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you lost 2 knights per turn, you have bigger troubles than your
Yeah, your
secondary
secondaries, yeah, because you only have
what?
it's 50% of your
Next one is
Poor knights this edition, man.
Next one is while we stand, we fight. So you basically select the 3 most expensive models in your army,
Yeah, so
And-
not units, but models.
and you got to keep them alive until the end of the game. If all 3 are alive, you get 15 points. 2, 10, 1, 5.
So
Yeah.
pick your 3 most expensive, pick up a command points, put them in reserve, and then bring them in at the end.
Bring them in at turn 5.
Yeah. Oh, hey guys.
I mean, that
Pretty
yeah,
much,
of course you can do that, but I mean, you're probably gonna want those things on the table. There's a
Yeah.
reason they're expensive.
Exactly. You're losing your points. And again, it's models, so if it's part of a unit, you're losing that whole unit. That whole unit of Wolfen is just
Yeah.
sitting in reserves, not doing anything, which is
Things I think this could be good for is like Gene Stealer Cult, because their characters are generally what's expensive, but they're also not targetable.
yeah, but I would say a Chimera is like more expensive than most of the characters in the.
Well,
Gene
again,
Stealer
this is where you can build your army to take these things.
That's right. That's right. That's true.
Or if you're another thing is you can bait the enemy with this. So
Yeah.
if your expensive things are some sort of hard to kill dreadnought with all the stratagems and things like
A Talamon or a Leviathan.
exactly, then you got to target that. If you want to stop me getting
If
these,
you want to
15
stop
points,
these points, you're gonna have to shoot it.
yeah, and it's like it's not gonna die, and
It's gonna be a lot to deal with. Yeah.
So there's a way. There's a lot of play, and there's a lot of way you can bait the enemy with some of these.
I like. There's a lot
objectives.
of that with a lot of these. I
Yeah.
really like it. I'm a big fan.
Teton Hunter.
Teton Hunter.
Yeah, Teton Hunter. This is from Purge Enemy. This is Kill Objectives Volume 2. This like
Yeah. So this is a separate bracket of secondaries, but it's very similar to the one we just did.
exactly more killing.
It's more,
It's
more
more killing.
specified killing.
See,
Yeah.
The killing with a bit more flair.
Titan Hunter. It's in the name. You gotta kill Titanic things.
Yeah.
So I can't remember the points for it.
So big knights and big tanks.
If you kill 2 Titans, I think it's 12 points. If you kill 3, it's 15.
But if you kill one,
Nothing. That's the thing. So it might be.
Don't get caught. Don't get caught slipping.
If you take it, you got to make sure you kill it.
You got to do it. So great if you're fighting Imperial Knights.
Yeah. Or if you
Because
bring.
you're going to kill them anyway.
but if you got an Imperial army, you just chuck one Knight Castellian in. Oh, you killed it.
Yeah. Or if you think of that one
No, that's you,
one single Bane Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sucks.
I mean,
Obviously
Even if
just-
they only
at
had
that point, you
two.
just wouldn't take it, so it's kind of negligible.
Although if they got one single Baneblade, they've spent 3 command points to take it, so
Yeah, they want to keep it.
Yeah.
you're already at a disadvantage, right?
It's obviously when you're going to take this if you're coming up against.
Yeah, you know when you're going
I
to
feel
take
like
it.
we're talking about Imperial Knights and Chaos Knight armies a lot.
Yeah, well, they got hit real hard. Okay, so just to clarify, Knights did not. The rules for this edition do not favor Knights.
No, they don't.
And I don't really think that's a bad thing
I don't
because
either.
I think they fucked the balance of the game.
I hated them. I hated it when they were introduced. I didn't like.
You
I
can't go to a tournament and be able to kill 200 infantry models and 5 toughness 8, 20 wound
Exactly.
vehicles. You can't.
Let me just be clear. If you have a knight and you like them, that's fine. Everyone's jam is your jam.
Knights are fucking cool. Like I have a knight. I love it. I think he's a cool boy. He's a
I
cool
forgot
dude.
you have a knight. You just don't normally bring him out.
Yeah. He doesn't get much play these days. But yeah, and knights are fucking rad.
I didn't like it for the balance.
But they're not good for the game.
No,
No.
they never have.
I've always wanted to pick one up to go with my army,
Yeah.
but not to be an army on itself.
But I find it strange because, okay, not including 7th, but the Wraith Knight was never something that threw the balance of the game out the window. Excluding 7th.
Yeah.
Seventh is
That's the
beast.
thing, right? Because if
Yeah.
you have one knight, like, okay, it sucks, but I can deal with it.
Yeah.
But if you have 5 knights,
Plus, the Wraith Knight never had anything special. Didn't have all this rotating iron shields and all these sorts
again,
of other
ignoring
things.
7th edition.
Ignoring 7th edition.
Stop.
Because that thing was a problem.
That was a problem. I couldn't use it in good conscience anymore in 7th edition.
Yes.
I mean, you did a little bit, though.
No. He actually
I
he
stopped.
did. He opted out using it because it was basically if he had it on the board, he would win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was just that bad.
I only ever brought it because you're like, no, I've got a list. I'm going to take down your knights.
and
But you
then
guys,
still stop them.
you guys told me to bring it.
Like that one time he managed to get it to like
Forward
infiltrate
deploy?
forward or
Yeah.
some shit. And
it just stepped on
how's
your
this in my lines
riptide?
already? And it stomped a riptide to death.
In one go.
One go.
One
just dead.
step.
And that was when Riptides were fucking Riptides,
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
they were good.
yeah, but they weren't Titanic. So.
Yeah, they
God.
weren't those
They're monstrous,
motherfuckers.
but they weren't Titanic. Stop.
Oh,
Next one
7th.
is Bring It Down.
Bring it down.
So score 2 victory points if you kill anything with the monster or vehicle keyword, and 3 points if it has 10 wounds or more. Sorry, more than 10 wounds.
More than 10 words.
Yeah.
So basically most vehicles in the game.
Rhino. So it said
It's great.
that so if someone wants to bring the Death Guard Rhino spam, that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Points on the table.
Rhinos aren't hard to
right?
kill.
You're bringing a lot of mechanized infantry and chimeras.
Mectar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, armored fists.
Although I wouldn't bring this against the fucking list full of wave serpents because
That's a trap.
there's a trap.
It is a trap. Like, you want to shoot my wave serpent? Sweet, let's go
Yeah,
for it.
let's do it.
Yeah, true.
But the thing is, there's not, because it's anything with the monster or vehicle keyword, it's not necessarily things with 11 more wounds. There are a lot of smaller units with
Yeah.
the monster keywords as well.
Oh,
And vehicles. This is the Castellan robots from the AdMech. They've got vehicle
Oh,
keywords.
vehicles.
yes.
And some of the,
Sentinels.
like, I think the Dark Eldar, some of their stuff is the monster
Mhm.
keywords.
Fart carts.
Yep, far carts.
True. Actually, very
Yeah,
good.
there's a couple around. Not a lot, but a couple.
But far carts actually are hard to kill. So
Yeah, they are pretty hard. Well, yeah, they don't do a lot, but yeah, they can be
Yeah,
difficult.
they are. No, they are.
Monty's full of kisses.
Oh,
What a traitor, eh? Where's my kiss? Monty, what about me?
stinky breath.
So next one is cut off the head. Kill the enemy is basically kill the enemy warlord.
Yeah.
So you get more points the quicker you do it. On the first turn,
Yeah. I like this one.
you still don't get
I
full.
wouldn't take it, but I
Even
like it.
if you kill the enemy warlord on the first turn, you don't get full points.
So it's
you get
possible to
12.
get full points.
Yeah, it's
get
one of
12,
these that
yeah.
caps off. I think it's a trap. I don't think it's a good one to take.
No, I think it's incredibly hard and it's not worth the payoff.
The only exceptions be again if it's an Imperial Knight army or a Chaos Knight army.
Yeah.
Shoot down
Yeah.
the warlord.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can just kill him and you can target him. That's true.
Exactly. Otherwise, if it's just a canoness sitting
Monty,
in a rhino in the back lines, like no,
No,
fuck
it
that
wasn't
shit,
happening, yeah.
or anything else. for
Yeah,
that
you're
matter.
just never going to do
They
it.
can achieve the lookouts
Yeah.
or hide.
And
Just
by the
even
time-
Yeah, it'll be in a chance
By
spot.
the time you get to kill them, it's just not.
We've seen the game.
You're not. Yeah, you're getting.
So minimal points.
You're getting.
Yeah,
cou-
you're
a
getting
couple
what,
of
2 points.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
just not worth it. Don't
Yeah.
take it.
Don't.
Assassinate.
Assassin.
Assassinate.
Yeah, it's an ass.
Uh, 3 points for killing character.
Yeah.
Cool.
Why not? Especially against those more character-heavy armies.
Uh, 3 points for killing character, so you're going to need to kill 5 characters to get full points. It's just doable.
Well, you think like
For
a
some armies, yeah.
It's, for some armies-
battalion, for example, Chaos, you'd have a Chaos Lord, you know, one of those Wind Talkers, and
I have no idea what you're
something else, the Bible Bashers.
Oh,
Um,
the
Chaos
the name-
Chaplains,
Yeah,
yes.
whatever. The name
That's the
eludes
one.
me, and like a Master of Possession, and then they've got the Greater Possessed.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
five
yeah,
stuff
you
over
remember
here.
there's a
'Cause
lot of
they've got
characters
there's
that
a lot
aren't
of
in
characters
HQ
that aren't
slots.
HQ, yeah.
This would be good if to actually make the opponent rethink their strategies, because if they have a lot of like smash captains and stuff like that, suicidal characters that they want to just throw into your lines and do some damage.
Yeah, if you're
and then
playing
they get
Blood
killed.
Angels or whatever, you just go, you
Yeah.
fucking throw them at me,
Throw
dog.
them at me, 3 points a time. Ching, ching,
Yeah,
ching, ching.
yeah.
All
You'll
mine.
kill some shit, but doesn't matter. They're
Uh,
getting points.
I mean, it's cool, but the thing is, I think a lot of the time the game, at the end of the game, what's left? It ends up being Hero Hammer. There's always a couple characters. That's all that's left on the table. It's just the
Yeah, yeah.
characters.
Well, we don't
Not
know.
always.
Maybe not now.
Maybe
With
not
the
now.
way Lookout Sir's going, I think.
True. Yeah.
I think characters will be dropping a lot earlier than they used to be.
Yeah. Next one is Shadow Operations. Is more board control with sort of like a fluffy twist to them.
Yeah.
These are the ones I like.
Yeah, I love these ones too.
These ones are cool, but I don't know if they're good.
See, the problem is all these are kind of actions and stuff. So
Yeah.
you're
Foregoing,
missing out on
yeah.
stuff to do
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
And if you're a lead army, obviously you can't afford to have something not fighting.
Yeah, exactly. So these so this is the one that we've all heard about.
Yeah.
Raise the banners high.
Yeah, so infantry, excluding characters. Raise a banner on objective. The opponent has to come and take it off, and you get 1 point at the end of each turn for each banner that is on the table.
Yeah. So the thing to read there is each turn. So like
Yeah.
first turn, second turn, third turn, fourth turn, fifth turn. You're
And
getting 5
you
points
see-
if you get 2 banners up in your first turn in your deployment
But you
zone.
know, you can't.
There's 2
Sorry,
points.
this is
No.
one of the few ones you can't do in the first turn. You
'Cause
can't
it-
raise.
'cause
banners
Oh,
on
you
the
can't
turn.
do this. in the
Because
first
you
turn.
achieve it in the
Right.
control phase, so the
Yeah.
control phase has already passed by the time you start
Yeah.
to do that. But from then on,
Okay.
you're generating them, yeah.
The command phase.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that new phase.
The
that's
new
in
phase.
there.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I mean,
If you've got a bunch of infantry troops running around.
but you're gonna need to have 4 banners up for at least 3 turns to have a snowball's chance of hell getting the 15 points.
Yeah.
Again,
But
it's
I think
that comes down to that whole deny the enemy.
yeah.
yeah.
If you can
Because you can
position
shoot
guard,
them before they get it up.
Yeah, or if you're running guard, I mean, your infantry moving forward anyway. You do this.
Yeah.
This is such a guard objective.
Yeah.
And then you use your tanks just to
Just
whatever,
push your
do what you
line
need to
forward
do.
past the objectives and just hold
Yeah.
them.
But it's like that. It's
And
even
then
just,
again, you're messing with your enemy's target priority because they have to decide, are they going to shoot this unit off this, getting this banner up? Or are they going to shoot your fucking Punisher
Yeah.
tank that's
But
going
they're
to
gonna-
and then once you get the banner up, they're going, well, now I've got to move on to that point.
Yeah, you gotta
So
go.
I've got to
down,
bring
take it
that
down.
banner down.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
yeah. So
I think it's really
It's
good.
a good one.
I kind of, for the secondaries, I don't think, maybe this is just the, this self-sabotage or whatever they call it in there. But I don't think, sabotage, I don't think, I'm not aiming for 15. I'm aiming for like 12.
Yeah.
I think if you can get 12 out of each of your secondaries, you're in a pretty fucking good spot.
Especially if
Yeah.
you're focusing on denying your opponent from getting their secondaries.
Yeah.
Then 12 is more than enough.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I think aiming for 15 is all it's going to do is
I mean,
make
if you get
harder
it,
for
like,
yourself.
fuck yeah, good
yeah.
job for you. But
Yeah.
I mean, be realistic about what you're
Yeah.
going to achieve
You-
and what
you're
your
gonna make-
opponent's going to
yeah.
achieve.
Because what you end up doing is you end up tunnel visioning. Oh, I've got to achieve these secondaries, and you stop looking at how to stop the opponent from getting the secondaries.
Exactly.
If you're so focused on maxing out your
Wider
points.
view.
So the
Yeah.
first turn, you shoot the shit, and then start utilizing your plan to start getting those things.
But what
Yeah.
this is like you have to know your army, and you have to understand your opponent army.
Yeah,
opponent's army.
that's I mean, that's kind of always been a big thing.
The better
But-
you understand your opponents, the better chance you have of winning. That's a given.
Yeah, essentially. And that kind of goes for all of them, really.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about denying your enemy points, you really do need to know how your opponent's list operates
Mm.
and what they want to do with it.
Investigate sites. This action is taken at the end of the movement phase. You need to control the center of the board because you have to investigate the center of the board, basically. You got to be within 6 inches of it. If you plan to take and hold the center of the board anyways. This is a good one.
Which you're probably going to want to do.
Yeah.
There's always an objective in the center, so yeah.
But you
Not always, but they're near
Vast
enough that
majority
you
of them,
want to
yeah.
be around the center of the board. Anyway.
But at the same time, you got to make sure your opponent's not within 6 inches of the center of the board. So you really, it's easy to deny, in a sense, if you just. But if you take that, like okay,
you just got to have some screening units.
Yeah.
Well,
if you take that, I'm gonna make sure I try and flood the center of the board so you can't score.
yeah,
At least I've only got to keep you off for a couple turns,
exactly.
and then after that, yeah, take it, score 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I denied you for most of the game.
How many points is it worth a turn?
I think it was 3.
3 points a turn. Yeah, see, it's pretty good. Even if you get 3 turns, that's you're already looking at 9.
Points. And this is only one of your 3 secondaries and the primary.
Yeah.
That's it. Like they all add
If you've got the
together.
bodies, yeah.
But they all add together. Like, yeah, it might be 9 here, but you might be getting 12 on the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
one,
So that's exactly what I'm
all-
saying. You want to spread it out.
It's
Oh
all
wait, here we go.
big plans.
Yeah, score 3 victory points each time a unit from your army successfully completes the following action. Investigate sites 1 infantry unit, excluding characters from your army, starts to perform this action at the end of the movement phase. If it's within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield and no enemies, excluding aircrafts, are within 6 inches of the center of the board, the action is complete at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
So 3 points. So to get the max points.
At the end of your turn.
At the end of your turn. So
At
you
the
start
end of the turn or your turn?
your turn.
What?
Mm,
So the enemy doesn't get a chance to shoot you before you
Yeah,
finish
no.
this.
no. The way
You
they-
just have to be the only thing within 6 inches of the board, at the center of the board.
Now,
and you just
I'm
get it.
presuming that
That's actually that's really good.
I'm presuming that you announce what your secondary objectives are to your opponent at the start of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not being secret squirrels about it.
No.
That's really good. That's actually because they don't get a chance to. Unlike the banners, they don't get a chance to shoot you before you complete the thing.
Yeah.
So all you have to be is there. You just have to
Yeah.
have the 6 inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, at the end of your turn. Yeah, I mean, again, as long as you can make sure you have that board control, you got it. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Deploy scramblers.
1 infantry non-character performs an action in your deployment zone or your opponent's deployment zone, or 6 inches away from either deployment zone.
So somewhere on the table,
Yes.
you get to do a thing.
At the start, and
Far out.
it starts at the end of the movement phase, and the action is finished at the end of your turn. You need to do this 3 times, and if you do, you get 10 points.
Kind of a weird one.
So can I just sit in my own
Deployment
lines and
zone.
just go, yep, yep,
Yep.
yep.
As far
3
as
turns, you get it.
from what I've read, there's nothing to stop you from doing that.
Yeah.
But
You
only-
don't even need to do that. You can still move up and then be like, oh, now this turn, this unit's going to do it. Next
Yeah.
turn, that unit
Yeah.
over there is going to do it.
But or you could just have 1 min squad sitting in the back, just keep doing
Bunch of
it.
cultists.
Yeah, sitting behind a cover so you can't get shot.
Yep.
And you're also deep strike denial for the back of your board at the same time,
Yep.
which you're already probably doing
And they're probably not shooting or doing anything else anyways.
because they're too
Yeah.
far back.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
just-
they're sitting on one of those
roll it over.
objectives that are just back in your lines anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. So they're already scoring points for you there. This is just doubling down on it. It's 10 points,
Yeah.
which is, to be honest, where I'm kind of aiming at with my
If I get
secondaries
10
anyways.
points per secondary, I'll be happy.
So I'm good.
But this is
This seems like a bit of a no-brainer.
this is an all or nothing. So if you for some reason you cannot complete it,
You're fucked.
Yeah. There's no points for getting half the
Yeah.
job done.
no,
Exactly.
exactly.
Really, really good for your backline infiltrator. What are they called? Primaris infiltrators with their
Oh,
24-inch denial bubble.
mean 12-inch.
12-inch denial bubble.
24.
24 inch.
Because
The
all
whole
you
board
need,
is not
yeah.
about-
Because all you need is two of those little 5-man squads sitting at the back on your 2 objectives.
Mm.
No one can deep strike in at them,
Mm.
and one of them can do this every
I mean, the
turn.
only thing you got to worry about is weapons like basilisks or night spinners. Stuff,
Yeah,
things that
stuff.
target them.
Indirect fire.
But as said, it's
I mean,
easy.
that's a fucking good target for your indirect fire, though, hey?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's going to be hard. You can't kill them off, even because it's not going to stop them from doing it.
Especially you got 2 units doing it.
Exactly. And if there's probably going to be another unit somewhere else on the board that meets these credentials that can do it themselves.
Well, that's it. Like, so you've got
Yeah.
So
It's-
yeah,
there's kind
you've
of
killed my
redundancy.
unit who did it last turn.
Yeah.
Those guys are gonna do it this turn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
all those guys in the middle of the
Yeah.
board.
Or the
doing
ones
stuff.
over in your
Yeah.
lines,
Yeah.
whatever.
I know it seems like it seems
good.
almost like a no-brainer to take this one.
Seems good to me.
Yeah. But the thing is, this is balance. The opponent takes something riskier and actually scores more points.
Yeah, but
I'm always
10,
gonna go for
10's
balanced
pretty
approach.
Yeah,
10's pretty high for such a safe
10 is very good.
10's really good.
for a safe objective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought this would still be good even when you got 8 points.
Yeah.
But the next one is deploy scramblers. 1 infantry non-character performs the action in your
the plus scramblers.
Next one's teleport Homer. But
Teleport
it's very
Homer.
similar.
It is they're almost identical, except one is infinitely harder to do than the other, and not worth doing. To the point, it is not worth doing.
Even the amount of points you get for doing it.
Okay, so it's the same as deploy scramblers, except you must do it in your opponent's deployment zone. And it's 4 points per turn. So
Enough said.
it's almost impossible to do it turn 1.
And again, you score this at the end of your command phase, so your opponent gets a chance to fucking walk over to you and punch your face off.
Exactly, which I don't get why that caveat's not on the other one. It's hard enough getting to the opponent's deployment.
it's just not as good.
Yeah.
There is no situation where you would pick this one over the other one.
Like if it had been teleport Homer,
As far as I can tell.
enemy deployment zone, your command, it has to be to your next one, but worth 10 points. You only have to do it once, and it's worth 10 points.
Yeah, if this was worth like 6 points a turn,
or even just like
because
a
then
one
if you get it
shot wonder,
twice, you only need to do it twice.
But even just like a one shot wonder, because
that'd be pretty good.
it would be pretty good. But you're in the threat zone.
Yeah, but you can drop a unit in there, transhuman them. They're gonna be fucking hard to
but
shift.
then they gotta survive.
Drop a dreadnought in there. Because you can put anything in reserve and you can just outflank off the side of the board.
But it can't outflank into the deployment zone.
Turn 3 you can, and if you don't need to do it for 1 turn.
Are you sure?
Mm.
Okay.
Cool. Turn 3? Turn 4. Maybe it's turn 4. But you only need to do it for 1 turn. Anyway, it's hypothetical anyway. This one, the one that's in the rules, garbage.
If you take
Trash fire.
Next.
I mean, it's like, I've finally made it, and I've got 4 points.
Yeah. Cool, I'm already on 10. It's turn 3.
Exactly.
Fuck
I
off.
took the easier one.
Jog on.
I'm here. I never left my home.
Yeah. I'm still having a cup of tea.
Exactly.
In the tent.
Yeah.
The next...
The coffee rations came in.
Just quite happily.
Just chilling, watching Netflix, quarantine, back in my own deployment zone. The next one is Warpcraft, which is a psychic-based mission objectives. I think most of these are a trap.
Most of these are a trap.
I don't think they're a good idea to do. The only time I would do these is if the opponent had absolutely no way to deny your psychic powers.
Yeah.
Even then, man, you can fail psychic powers so easily.
Especially with the way rerolls are going now.
Exactly. You think it's like a sure shot you're going to pass the psychic power, and it's not.
There are characters like Eldrad. He gets to reroll one of the dice every time he does
like a
cycle.
helmet for the Elder.
All the Farseers can reroll one or both dice. So yes, they can, but trust me, I've failed many times with my Elder army on things you shouldn't have failed.
Yeah,
it's like, I've rolled 2 dice. I only need to roll 2 on one of these dice. Oh no, I failed.
Yeah, it happens.
Reroll, still failed, and I don't know. It feels too binary. It's either it succeeds or it doesn't.
It is or not. Well, we should talk about what they are first.
Yeah, so the first one isn't like any of the things you just said. First one is Abhor the Witch.
Oh yes, but I like
kill
this one.
psychers.
Yeah.
So this is great. So everything we just said applies to everything else apart from this. This one is good. Kill a psyche, you get 3 points.
For a unit of psychers, you get 5.
No.
So
kill a psychic unit, you get 3 points. Kill a psychic character, you get 5 poins.
So fucking great for Grey Knights or
I wrote it
T-Sons.
wrong. Sorry.
Learn English, Alan.
This is bad news for Grey Knights. Basically, Grey Knights and Thousand Suns and some demon army builds. This is real bad news
Real
for this
hard.
for.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, there is a caveat to this. You cannot have any psychers in your army.
Ooh.
So if you're Tau or sisters who get psychers without being psychic.
Hey, no. Well, if you're a star. Yeah.
Or any other demon.
Yeah, if you're corn, if you're pure corn or something. Because I think this one, especially if you're getting up against Grey Knights and again Thousand Suns, it's gonna be easy to max out.
I think it's actually really good because a lot of times if you don't have that psyker in your list who can deny some key psychic powers, you're at a huge disadvantage.
It's trouble. It's bad
This
news.
is a fantastic equalizer.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I love it a lot.
I love this as Dark Angels, when I can both like automatically deny your psychic powers and also get points for killing your psychic dudes.
I know, right?
But
Why do you automatic?
there's a fantastic warlord trait in the Dark Angels where you just go, no.
And you-
What?
And this
Oh,
is
that's
why I was
terrible.
saying
That's
a lot of
rough.
these psychic rituals.
Well,
are
yeah.
like
So
that.
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the next one
That
is
so good.
bad.
Abhorred
Once
Witch.
per game, but
Situational, but love it. Greater, best for some armies, terrible for
I
others.
think of any of them, this is the one you'd do situationally.
It's going to be great or it's going to be terrible. Not worth taking at all.
Mental interrogation.
So basically, with these
Mentalk,
ones-
the mind taker.
These next ones, you get a psychic power to cast. And so this one's a warp charge 4, and you target an enemy character within 18 inches away. For each time you successfully cast this power, you get 3 points. That's
That's
it.
not that bad.
So you have to do it.
So you know what you're going to use your one denial on
Exactly.
every turn.
That's the see. This is the problem. There's like sisters have a strat after they attempt to deny, so they can have a go at it first.
Yeah,
They can try to deny again on a 4+.
yeah. But if you're not fighting one of those armies that have like great denial tricks, like Dark Angels, like Sisters, like
Eldar even.
Templars, even Eldar, even because you're within 18 inches, so that puts you within range of the psychic hood anyway.
Is the Psycho 18 or 12?
It might be 12
I think it's
actually,
12.
but it's pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
It's there's better options.
There's better options, even if you're a psychic heavy army. I probably wouldn't take this
Yeah, I'd go
Unless-
for killing stuff with your
unless,
for
of
killing things with
course,
smites,
you're
which you
going
do.
against like Tau or an army which has no way to deny you, and you are so.
Yeah.
What do Gene Stealers do for denial?
They have psychic.
They have psychics.
They have a lot of psychic.
Yeah, they're
No.
Tyranids, man. They suck it like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
True.
Next
You guys,
one.
I'm gonna go to the toilet. You guys keep going.
Um,
I'm gonna remember to mute my mic.
Later in post.
In post.
In post.
next one is psychic ritual. This is an all or nothing power. So you either get 15 points or you get 0 points. It's a warp charge 3 power. Warp charge 3 power. So it's easier to cast than even the one before. You need to be within 6 inches of the center of the board, and you just cast this power. That's basically it.
How many times do you have to cast it?
You need to do it 3 times
3 times.
across 3 turns because because these are psychic powers
Without dying.
without dying. So it's all your psychics know this power when you take this thing. It's not like it's taking one of your powers away from you.
No, it just oh my god.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It would be
But
really bad.
It still means that one of your casters
Yes, has to
has
be.
to use this as opposed to doing something that can
Yeah.
help the rest of your army.
So again, if you're like Eldar and you have a Farseer that has Doom and Guide, and those are your go-to powers that you need to make sure you get off to make sure your army works really well, then you're giving up one of those powers. There's a stratagem that lets you cast an extra power. Yeah, yes, I know
So
that, but
just to clarify,
Yeah.
is it a character has to do it or just a psycho?
well, I mean, I'm
So
pretty
here's
sure.
a few pointers.
I'm pretty sure it is any psycho unit.
Because if it's any psycho unit, right?
I'm back.
Does it have to be the same one?
No, it has to be a character.
Damn. Right, there you go. I meant, that's it. Just say that'd be a real good one for Grey Knights.
Psychic
If it-
ritual.
If it didn't have to be
Yeah.
a character, if it didn't have to be the same one each time, you
Yeah.
just cycle through your Grey Knights.
It's a warp
with
charge
whatever.
3.
But it's a character, no, that's too expensive.
Yeah.
You're sacrificing a character who's probably got some really crucial,
Yeah.
like clutch psychic powers to go, whoa.
Again, it's situational. I would not take these against certain armies because they can deny. They just could deny you for 3 turns.
The same caveats apply to this as to
Yeah.
all the other psychic
This
ones.
one's worse because it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
If I just deny you for 3 turns, I don't even need to worry about you casting it anymore because it's over.
It's
You don't-
done.
You don't have a chance of coming back from it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you got to get that character to the center of the board.
Really open to the threat.
So how can you do that turn 1? If you can't, that means you start from turn 2. That means it gives you 4 turns to try and get this.
The pressure gets worse and worse.
So arguably,
Yeah.
2 denials and you're buggered.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, 3 and you definitely are.
Yeah.
because the game only goes 5
Yeah.
turns.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you can't get the first turn, that's already a denial. Right, isn't it? If you can't get first
Oh,
turn,
yeah,
so
true.
second and
Yeah.
third turn, deny those two, then you're done.
Yeah,
Or you deny just 2 at any point.
it just sucks. Pierce the Veil.
Pierce the Veil. This one, I don't even know why it exists. You would never, ever take this one. It's Warp Charge 4. Okay, it's not hard to cast. Your psychic character needs to be within 6 inches of the enemy's board edge, plus 6 inches away from any opposing enemy model units. And if you cat this off 2 times, it's 8 points, and 4 times it's 15 points.
It's already turn 5.
Yeah.
If you're even attempting to do this.
The only ones I can think
How are you
that.
going to do it twice? How are you going to do that twice? Far out.
I mean, if you have enough Eldar Psyker bikers, you get suicide enough of them to do this.
Does
It's
it have
like
to be
you're
the same
burning
character
100
each
points
time?
each
It
time.
doesn't have to be the same character, it just needs to be done up to
Okay.
4 times.
Fuck that.
By
man.
a character?
Yeah, by a character, a Psyker character.
Fuck that for a joke.
You
Pierce the
got to
Veil.
get to the enemy's board edge, one, you got to somehow get there. And
Then
I
you
know,
gotta-
I know the board's a bit,
So yeah,
bit smaller now, but
you got to get there, which is hard enough. You got to do it, which is hard enough.
Yeah.
And then you got to do it again.
so here's the thing, right? It's 4,
No.
to get max points, you have to do it 4 times.
Yep.
So it means you need to be at the enemy's board edge by at least the start of the second turn
yes.
to then do
Get
it 4
full
times
points,
to get max
yeah.
points. Otherwise, you're never going to get max points.
And be away from, make
A
sure.
bit away from the enemy in the deployment zone at the
Next.
start of the
Yeah.
game.
Next.
That's the last one.
Fuck off.
I don't know who wrote that one or playtested this. Like,
And I bet you there's going to be some fucking build 3 months down the road where they just go, oh, I get
it's the
Fucking game.
easiest thing.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's the
fucking
best
points.
15 points you can get.
best point generator.
Because I was theory hammering it. It's like, how can I actually do this with
Deep striking psychers.
Eldar bikers?
Eldar bikers.
It's the only way you can do it.
It takes 2 turns to get them there, though, right?
Not if you cast I can't remember-
Quickening.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then you've just
Okay,
suicided your
okay.
Farseer or whoever you sent there.
And they're like, what, 109 points on a bike? Something like
You
that?
can send a Warlock on bike, I guess, if you want.
Yeah.
But the
still-
problem is,
And
they're
then you
not
get
going to
denied.
survive.
Yeah. you fail.
Oh, no. Nah, pissed off.
But they won't survive.
Yeah.
They won't survive.
Yeah,
They will be dead.
They'll
They
do it
will die.
once. And then, I know, you have backup
Yeah, you
cycles
do it
because-
once, and you don't get any points.
And then you have one wave serpent full of warlocks. Pouring out.
Well, every turn one
Yeah.
gets out and goes, next
It's
turn,
like one more into the breach.
God. Oh, dear.
I would probably make it a mission to try and get that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they would. Yeah.
Try and get
I
the
can
full
imagine
15.
like going to a tournament and being like, if I just do this once, if for one game I manage to get this, that's all I'm going to focus on. That'd be a fun
So
tournament.
2 times
Yeah.
8 points, 4 times 15 is
Yeah.
anything for 3?
Caps 15.
That's it.
No, but 3.
No, there's nothing. It's,
So
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Fuck it. Go away.
Oh my
Bagger
God.
off.
I mean, they could have easily made it 12 for 3.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, make it worth something. You do it twice, third time you get it, and then you die. Just
I'm
like,
done with
it.
I'm
Or
done
you-
with it.
It could be the last one. You just fail. You perils even.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah, nah, fuck off.
Ah,
Oh,
So let's
dear.
talk about the missions.
The
so that we have
primary
a bit
missions.
of context for these things.
yeah, because we need to talk about the secondaries. They have some
And there's
context.
more. There's more missions than there used to be.
There's a lot more. How many was there? 8?
There's 8.
Eight.
There's
The
8
strike
missions now.
force.
8 for
Which
strike
is 2,000
force.
point
Yeah.
games. We're not going to talk about 1,000 points.
There's a 1,000
Although I
point.
think, I kind of enjoy like a 1,000 point tournament, to be
I
honest.
think it just like.
They're
fun
quicker,
ones.
you get
Yeah.
more games in the day, you can do a tournament in
The
a
problem
day.
with 1,000 point games is people.
Skew.
That's the thing. Everyone builds a skewed list. Like, oh, if I come against this, I'm gonna rock house. If I come against anything else, I'm gonna get my shit pushed in.
Pretty much.
And yeah,
Mission numero uno is a very similar one to that we probably have all played.
I think all the names,
before.
most of the names are the same, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, this one has a mechanic which is very familiar.
Mm.
This is Scorched Earth.
Starring Tim Morrison.
Is there?
What's yours?
Didn't really with Tim
Yeah,
Morrison.
yeah.
Yeah, Scorched Earth.
I have to look it up later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He scalped someone with a patu.
Oh, is it a
Oh.
four? Is it the one where like Russell Crowe's chasing him around the country or something?
Oh, I can't remember now.
He's like
I
a-
know
he's
something-
like a
I know
runaway
something about,
from
like,
the
there's-
law.
There's like a weed plant, like a weed growing operation.
I
Definitely not the one I'm thinking of.
No,
It's just
I was
like-
thinking
this is
something
like
else.
way back in
I'm
the
sure
day.
it's an old movie.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was called Scorched Earth.
yeah.
So we've
Or
derailed.
maybe it was Crooked Earth.
We've yeah. I was talking like Moldy Wars days.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's
anyway.
what I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
No, that's the Darklands.
That's the one. Yeah.
Darklands. Yeah, that's great.
Great movie. You should watch it.
Yeah.
So Scorched Earth. So basically, this one's raising objectives. It's the special thing.
Which we're all familiar with.
Yeah.
So that's if you're sitting on objectives, you can burn it to the ground.
You can only raise certain objectives, and once they're removed from play.
So let's start from the beginning. This is a long edge to long edge deployment, I believe.
Yes, long edge.
And there are 6 objectives,
Yep,
2 in each deployment zone and 2 in the middle.
and the only ones you can raise are
Opponents.
the opponent's ones.
Oh, you can't do the middle ones?
You can't do your own, so you can't do the ones on your side. as well.
Yeah. So you can do the middle ones or you can do the opponent's ones.
Yeah.
But again, you can only do it after 2, right?
Yep, but the thing is, this is a secondary objective, so you have to choose to do this. You don't.
Over one of the other ones. Yeah. But you do get points for doing it?
I'm curious. So, if you don't choose to do this, you can't raise objectives.
No, you just hold them.
No. You can't raise objectives unless you have
But
this
if your
as your
opponent
secondary.
raises them,
Yeah,
you can't hold them.
You can't hold them, yeah. But then
Oh.
also you can't hold them
yeah.
because they're removed.
Yeah, no, I know. So the person who raises
So it
them
makes your hold
gets-
1, hold 2, hold more. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but
also
the person
for
holding it,
Yeah.
the person who raises it gets 6 points for raising it.
Yeah.
at the end of the game, yeah.
Yeah. So they go in and they raise your ones,
Yeah.
and then you're stuck with no objectives,
Yeah.
and they're holding theirs, and you don't get your primary.
Yeah. So if the other person takes it and you don't, you are at a disadvantage.
Again, another denial system.
Yeah. But again, if you're raising objectives, so for this one, so for each mission, we should say this as well, there's basically a criteria where for the primary, you have to hold either 1 or more objectives. For this one, it's 1.
Yep.
2 or 3 or more objectives. So this one is 2. And then more than your enemy every turn. So you gain points for doing that.
So for each one, you get 5 points. So if you hold one objective, you get 5 points. If you hold 2 or more, you get 5 points. If
So
you
that's
hold
10.
If you hold more than the enemy, you get 5 points.
So that's 15 if you're doing all 3.
Yeah.
So they don't cancel each other out. So if you're raising objectives, suddenly holding 2 is a
Yeah.
little bit more difficult.
See,
Holding more than your opponent could be a little bit more difficult.
this would be good
Yes, but
Unless
if
you're
you
raising
can't-
the ones in their deployment zone.
Well, that's it. You take the ones that are in the
But
deployment.
you're probably
zone,
not. You're probably
castle
doing the
on
ones in the
yours.
middle first.
Well, yeah, and then you castle your ones, push into theirs, and then there's only 2 left on the board in your deployment zone,
Yeah.
and they can't take them.
See,
They
what-
gotta come to you.
what you
Yeah.
can do is you can be cheeky about this. If you are able to hold yours and the center, so you get to hold more for 2 or 3 turns, and then you raise everything.
Yeah.
And that way the opponent can never score more than you anymore.
It is again an action to do it.
Yeah.
So you are targetable while you're doing it.
Is it okay? Is it a command phase action, or like a movement to command
From
phase, or is it
memory,
end of your turn
yes.
action, or because it can only be done by infantry? Can it be done by only by characters?
Infantry.
Yeah, it can only be done by
Infantry
infantry.
Yeah, infantry only. I don't. Yeah. Mhm. I'd probably take kill your giant robots, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
if I mean I'd probably take like kill titans over this, but I mean.
Well, there's no Titan.
or like kill vehicles or whatever, exactly. So if you're out of situational ones and none of them really apply, like yeah,
Yeah,
but it's not my top pick.
And you're running against an elite army, and you've got a fast-moving army.
Ball control style army.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could be a really good one. You get in there, raise
they?
them all, and then
But again, they've got to not be on them for you to do
yeah.
it.
True.
So you
Yeah,
can't just
but-
walk onto it and obstacle it away.
No, but if their numbers are limited, your options to
Yeah.
do it are
Yeah.
a lot more. And then depending on what objectives they've got, they might be wanting to push into the centre more. So
Again, then this is kind of what I like about all the secondaries, both the mission ones and the actual ones that you pick.
Yeah.
They're all kind of situational.
Which is
I'm-
good.
So the game's going to change, and you're going to have to keep on track.
I'm
of, like, you're not going to be
liking-
able to do the same ones every turn,
No.
Yeah.
every game.
I'm liking this new design to their games now because
Yeah.
it's taking a lot more. It used to just
There's
be
a lot.
Alpha Strike first turn, mop
Play
them
it
up,
out.
and then
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. Like
Kill everything
what
and then play it
what
out.
objectives,
Yeah.
It's just mop it up. But now it's like objectives actually mean stuff now.
For
Yeah.
me, it's like I I prefer you be able to get points for achieving opposed to denying.
Yeah.
I think it's.
But some of them are like that. Some of them you don't get it. The opponent doesn't get an opportunity to deny.
Yeah, because you can build lists and things to do denial, and they are skewed and they're horrible to play against.
That's the problem. It's generally the denial ones that aren't fun to play.
Yes. But
And it seems like denial's going to be real good.
we'll see. We'll see what it's like because we haven't
It's
actually
denial
played these yet.
that brings the feel badsies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you made
Negating someone from doing something they can normally do is just
What
good.
sucks?
I mean, you don't feel bad if your opponent achieves something. That you feel bad if they've stopped you from being able to do
Yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, denying and then failing your deny, so you play a stratagem, so you just deny on a 4+. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Vict, for example.
Yeah, like
Just-
Victor's no fun.
Vect is one of the most feel badsy things on the
Yeah.
face of the earth.
I don't think anyone actually feels good doing Vict either.
No.
I don't know. I think there's some real sadists out there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's a thing you do like, well, fuck, I'm sorry, man, but like,
I gotta stop you.
you know I gotta do it.
Yeah.
Next one is vital intelligence.
Damn your transhumanism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vital intelligence. It's diagonal deployment.
Yeah.
You got to hold 2. So hold 2 for 5 points. Hold 3 for 3 or more for 5 additional points, and hold more than the opponent.
Yeah, so it's a little bit harder than the other one.
Yeah.
And there's 6 objectives.
There are 6 objectives. Objective markers are data terminals. And once you perform an action on them,
So this is the secondary that goes along with this mission.
So- once you take an objective marker, it is yours until your opponent takes them off you.
Yeah, so you can just hold it for a turn,
Yeah.
and then fuck right off, and it'll keep burning points for you the whole game, which is real good because it forces you to go meet the other army.
And you can perform
love it.
Data intercept. So it's an action on the terminals, and you score you score points for as many control point.
Yeah.
Control
So if
points as
you're
you have.
holding 4 objectives, and
Yeah.
remember you don't have to be on them to hold them, but if
Yeah.
you're holding 4, and then one of your squads is like, I'm gonna hack the system, you get 4 points straight off the bat.
So this one could be quite good.
I like this one actually. This is one of the few like mission specific ones that I really do.
Yeah.
I can see myself doing every time.
And it's friendlier towards elite armies that don't want to have units babysitting objectives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can fuck off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, you gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Because someone come nick it from you.
Just deep strike straight onto it.
Go, mine.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Especially against the late army,
Actually-
it's something you go deep strike, deep strike, deep strike, deep strike, sweet, and secondary objective as well.
I thought I read something somewhere, but don't quote me on this because I need to double check it.
But you can't deep strike onto objectives. Is
Yeah,
that-
that's the one. You can't deep strike onto objectives anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Within 3. Yeah.
Well, which is within.
Which was on an objective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's-
That is a big
I
deal.
don't
I knew
like
I
that.
was forgetting something.
I don't like that. I mean, I'm not a big.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't run particularly deep striking armies, but I like that idea of like
Can
surgical
you-
strike, boom, like
Yeah.
like thought out as
I
part of
just
your game
read
plan.
Saturnine, and there is an amazing bit where exactly that happens. And literally a squad just like teleports into another squad, and they're like, "Oh fuck!" And they just have like a point blank firefight. It's fucking beautiful. I love it so much.
I must read this.
Oh, imagine that in the game.
Yeah.
Like certain squads that could like deep strike in amongst another squad.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. With incoherency.
Yeah,
like,
Lord Berserkers just
Oh!
being like, hey guys, like,
So good.
whoa.
So good. Broke as fuck, but yeah, it'd be fun.
See, so that rule is really good for this mission because your objective is safe.
Yeah.
It can't be deep struck on. As long as you
Just
have a
another
line-
reason why I'd probably take it. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I think this one's quite
starter
good.
one. Yeah, it's cool. Battle lines? No. What's the
Surround
next
and
one?
destroy.
Surround and destroy.
So it's hold 1, hold 2 or more, and hold more than your opponent.
And this is quarters?
This one is long to long.
Long to long.
So you score. So the secondary for this one is score 4 victory points if you hold 2 in your deployment zone and 1 in your opponent. If you control both in yours and your opponent, you score more points.
Yes, there's 5 objectives on the board, I think, for this one. 2 in each deployment
Center.
zone
Yeah.
and 1 in the center.
Yeah.
So if you hold yours and the one in the opponents, you get points.
So you
If you
hold-
hold all of them,
Yeah.
you kick butt.
You have a lot more points.
I'm noticing,
It's
yeah,
tough.
they're putting objectives on center a lot more because center is now a lot
Yeah.
more relevant.
And they're incentivizing you to get right up in your enemy's fucking grill.
But then there's
And,
things that,
and vice versa.
yeah, but there's like secondaries that require you to hold the center.
Yeah.
So to have the center marked, as opposed to him to measure it out, having the objective always on the center
So
means
this-
you know exactly where it is.
Would this be a good one for you to take the secondary on top of this, where you hold the center of the board? Or because your opponent is also trying to hold the center of the board, is it a negative to take that?
I feel like unless you know you can basically outlast or outweather the opponent, I wouldn't take it. Because you're drawing everything.
I don't like
The
it
close
because
combat, the shooting, the psychic, it's all
you've
gonna
got
be
to
in
you've
in
got to
that
get
front
all
line.
the way into your
Gotta be a real
opponent's deployment zone.
Yeah.
It's almost like the center of the board's going to be a bit of a maelstrom of war.
Oh,
I would have said a flashpoint, but I see where you're going with that. I see where you're going.
Yeah, mate.
What's the next one?
I don't. For this one,
What's the
I feel
secondary
like
for this?
if you actually there's a secondary, you score 4 victory points if you hold
Oh, yeah, right.
2 in
right,
your
that's
deployment
fine.
zone and at
That's why
least
we were talking
1
about it.
in your opponent's, or you score 8.
Yeah.
I think it's 8 if you
Ah,
control
yeah.
both yours and your
I
opponent's.
like it.
Yeah.
To be if you can do that, you've pretty much won the game.
Yeah, you've already won, right?
Yeah.
Battle lines.
Yeah, I don't know. Risk and reward.
Battle lines, yes. Hold 1, hold 2 or more, and hold more than your opponents.
Yeah, it's the same as the one for that one.
They're all pretty much the same, really.
Yeah, it's-
Slight variations.
The
the
second
amount.
the second one, which was called, I can't remember, is the only one where it's
Hold
actually
2,
got
hold 3,
Yeah.
hold more. Yeah. But it's all the same iteration with the numbers changing.
Yeah.
This one's short edge to short edge. There's only 4 objective markers, and 1 is in your deployment zone, and 2 in no man's land.
Vital Grounds?
Yes, battlegrounds score 3 if you control the opponent's point. It's basically the same, similar to the one before.
Yeah.
And
But it's short to short deployment.
yeah, and you score 2 points for this is the end of each turn if you control any other objectives in the middle.
Yeah.
This one's actually pretty good because
They're
you can just
quite-
hold the
yeah.
middle ones.
Yeah,
Mm.
and still rack up points, but then your
Yeah.
opponent's also trying to hold the middle ones.
Yeah.
Because this is a primary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. I mean, we can't say for certain if these are good or not because it's always going to be dependent on what you're playing and what your opponent's playing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And again, what other secondaries you've got?
Mm.
There's a real thing about layering secondaries on top
Yep.
of each other, which you can skew with into real hard if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a fun way to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you can end up stacking the primary, mission-based secondary, and then one of your control and hold secondaries.
Yeah.
So you can end up
Like that
having
one with the middle of the board is a great example.
Yeah,
You can
it's-
have like a
3 or 4
Yeah.
points, like
which is
options of points
awesome for
cheering.
you, but it's also awesome for your opponent because
They
all
can
they have to
deny
do
it.
is remove you from that area and they fucking halt your whole game plan.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm.
So is it better to divest your investments, as they say, or to focus in?
I am actually like 9th for me. I'm coming into it. I was like, because 7 to 8.
8.5. It's the same fucking rad.
But it's not even that. I was just kind of like,
that's me.
it's not. It didn't feel like off the bat as big a departure from 8th, and arguably it's not. You're still running the same base.
Yeah.
The base system is
stuff.
essentially the same.
But
Oh, yeah.
damn, this stuff here is
It's
like
the
this
extra little
that's
the little holes in the Swiss cheese that they've started to poke
I
in.
like that they've pulled it away from that whole alpha strike, biggest man wins kind of
Yeah.
thing.
First
Like,
strike.
Yeah.
you can still wipe your opponent and win.
Yeah.
But now there's a chance that you
I
could
mean, yeah,
wipe-
killing, just murdering your opponent is still a valid
But
strategy.
absolutely, but only if you do it early.
The thing.
If you do it late and they've already accumulated more points through their secondaries and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you can still lose.
Exactly. That's the best part about it.
It's real good.
And for some armies, that's important. Like Harlequins, they need to, nut up at the start of the game and score their points
They
quick.
need to get a real good first couple of turns
Because if they don't, they're not doing it later.
because they can get hurt real quick.
Yeah.
It
Next,
makes me really want to get back into doing my Talon.
yeah.
No.
I don't know. Actually, yeah, that is one
You
thing.
need more
Like,
hellhounds.
I
for
know
sure,
it's all
you
part of
know.
the hype cycle, and it's a selling
Because-
tool as much as anything else. But I'm thinking about, fuck, man, the Custodes army I always wanted to do. That's like a real good time. That'd be fucking cool. Oh, that fucking Tower army that I've been thinking about for ages. Or I should finish that and get into the.
The beauty of the guard, though, is that I don't have to get hell. I can and I will get
Yeah.
hellhounds, but my chimeras are basically hellhounds with people in the back. Like you take the heavy flamer and then the flamer,
Yeah.
and then you
Oh, yeah.
go up, dump them, flame, charge, flame,
Yeah.
flame, flame until you're dead.
But then
It's a shorter ranged hellhound,
you
Yeah.
can,
but it carries troops.
yeah, so you're dumping your
Which
troops
is
out and
actually
then
a
charging
really
into the
good
front
thing.
line.
Honestly, like fucking chimeras are the shit in Night.
And plus,
I fucking love them.
because you tell them they can advance and still fire their heavy flamers.
Yeah. Well,
It's
heavy flamers
so
don't have a
good.
penalty. Like,
And I'm pretty sure there's a
No,
talent
because
strat
the
where you can
Italian
get out as well. right?
FAQ
No.
changed because before you can move and fire your heavy weapons without penalty because that's not a thing anymore.
yeah.
So
But
now you get
now,
advance.
yeah,
and you
they turn into assault weapons.
So that's even
Ching.
better.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
is
much.
so
The
good.
other way I was looking at it was just because you could end them, get up, dispark your stuff, and then charge them to enemy lines.
Do you guys remember when we were talking about the missions?
Oh yes.
No.
Sorry.
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 Back to what we were talking about.
New Zealand Rail were really bad at getting derailed.
Yeah.
The scouring. Short edge to short edge, but shorter.
Yeah, so it's like a cropped. So it's the short edge, but it's like you don't get to go on the corners of the short edge.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was.
It looked a bit weird.
Yeah.
You'll see it on screen.
Well,
in a
we're
minute.
gonna put them up, unless I don't.
Yeah, then
unless he
go,
doesn't, which
then
is-
go look it up somewhere
Scrub,
else
scrub, scrub.
on one of the many leaks that we have.
Yeah.
There's 5 objectives. You got to hold 2+ objectives, 2 objectives to get 5 points, 3 or more to get 5 points, or more than your opponents to get the last 5. Strategic scan. 1 or more units in your army can perform.
So this is the secondary.
Yep.
Mhm.
They perform this action on different objectives. So if you do it once, you get 3 points. Do it twice, you get 6 points. 3, you get 10 points, and 4 plus, you get 15 points.
So you could theoretically just, hey, every unit in my army in the first turn is going to do strategic scan.
Does it say we can't do it in the first turn?
Can't remember.
I thought it'd be on objectives.
It has to be on objectives, yes.
Oh, does it have to be on objectives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, still.
I was doing some broke shit, and then I couldn't do it.
I was like, wow, this is the easiest secondary objective ever.
But yeah, I do like that you can just like, and it's, we talk about how the scoring works first. So if you, and at the end of the game, you count up how many scans you did, and you get 3 points for doing 1, you get 6 points for doing 2, and then it jumps to 10 points for doing 3, and then it jumps to 15 points for doing 4.
Yeah.
I don't feel like 4's that hard to do.
I don't think
no,
it is.
not over the game.
No.
But
I mean, you are getting shot while you're doing it.
But different objectives.
Oh, I did
objectives.
skip that too.
Different objectives.
Don't listen to me, anybody, at any time ever.
You got a whole ass and get to somewhere you don't want to be.
Yeah, I mean, there's 6 objectives on this one, right?
So the first,
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
6 objectives.
so the first 2, arguably 3, should be quite easy to do.
yeah.
well, as you said, first turn you can.
So the
get
2 you're getting first
2.
turn.
Yeah, sorry. So you
Straight
just
off the
need to
bat.
now choose.
So you've already got 6
2 more.
points.
Yeah.
Good job.
So over the rest of the game, you just need to get 2 more.
Yeah, and again, I'm aiming for 10, so if I get 1 more, I'm happy.
Yeah.
If
So
I get
it's definitely
4,
a good
it's a
one.
bonus.
It's a good one.
It's a goodie.
Next one is a sweep and clear.
So this
It's-
is table quarters with the 9-inch hole punch.
Yeah. It's hold 1, hold 2, more than 2, or hold more than the opponent.
Yeah.
And the secondary mission for this one is direct assault. Score 3 victory points if you control the center or your opponent's objective marker. 5 points if you control both, and you score this at the end of the turn.
So the objectives are 2 in your deployment zone,
Yeah.
1 in the middle, and then 2 in the enemy's deployment zone. So
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about. So if you hold the center one, you just get 3.
Yeah.
It's great. If you hold one of the objective markers in your enemy's deployment zone, you just get 3. If you hold both of those,
Yeah.
you get 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's all right. It's not amazing, but if you're all your regular ones that you want to take
Yeah.
don't really apply,
This is the same as one of the
Step
early
this
ones,
one
isn't it?
Similar.
Like-
very similar.
It's very
Pretty much
similar.
identical wording.
A
There
lot
are
of them.
themes
Hold this and this,
here.
hold this and this, and
Yeah.
you get points.
For sure.
I mean, there's not much to say.
And again, it's per turn, so you can stack this boy up pretty quick.
Yeah, you got. Well, I mean, you got to get to your opponent's deployment zone.
And true.
live.
But you're going for the center. What you're
Yeah.
doing. And then the extra.
And if
one's
you
just a
lost the
little
fight for the
bonus.
center, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Game
Yeah.
over.
Well, they're punching into your lines now,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
This did not go as planned.
Nope.
Last one was priority targets. I think this is the last one. No, it's not the last one.
No, there's one more.
There's one. Priority
there's
targets.
more and more.
Sort of corner to corner.
yeah,
So
it's
it's
slightly skewed one, isn't it?
so it's from
It's-
a top corner to the center of the board.
So it's like instead of the regular one that you used to like this, it's kind of like.
Yeah. So one of the
It's like 10 degrees. Like it's a real it's a steep hill.
yeah, it's from the center.
Yeah.
As if the center of the board and then up to one corner.
Yeah.
So
which is interesting.
so it's hold 1, hold 2, or hold more than the opponent. Again, I think I should write down how many objective markers there were. I think there was 6.
I think there's 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can reposition 2 objective markers.
So the objective markers are labeled. So
Yeah.
if you're a defender or attacker, so there's 5 objective markers in this one in the center, and then
One in each deployment.
No, there's one in your deployment zone and then
Yeah.
one that's not
One in
because it's a
deployment.
little
because
bit
of the angle.
So
Yeah.
deployment center, and neutrals.
and then 2 neutrals. If you're the attacker, you get the ones. So
Left-hand,
the ones on your side, and if you're the defender, you get the ones on your side. Before the game,
Yep.
the attacker gets to move one of his objective markers 6 inches.
No, it's 2.
No, it's
No,
definitely
no, no.
six.
You move one, and then
Yeah.
the defender goes, "Hey, I'm going to move one too," and then the attacker goes, "I'm going to move another one," or you can leave it still, and the defender goes, "I don't get to move my second one
Yeah, that's a weird one. That one.
because you're going first." I don't know
Yeah,
because going first is not as good as
but
going
you're not
second
going
is.
first anymore because you still roll off of that.
Oh yeah, it's just the attack. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
The only
yeah,
way
you're right. I forgot about that.
who goes first is always a roll off now. It's always a roll off for who goes first.
Yeah, I don't really understand why they're doing attack.
Can you still seize?
No,
No,
Caesar's gone.
Caesar's out the window.
So yeah, but you can't
Alternating
place
deployment.
the object. You can only move the objective
That
6
makes sense.
markers, and you can't place
no
it
reason.
into
One, two,
defensible terrain.
two.
And you secretly choose one to be your primary objective, priority objective.
Yeah, so you both secretly go, I'm going to do this objective here. And then the guy goes, I'm going to do this one here. And then as soon as you've done it, you go, so I picked this one.
Yeah, so you immediately
So you
tell
may
them.
as well just tell them straight away because
Yeah.
it makes no fucking. I mean, I guess it
it's
does.
I
could
guess you
make it a little
go.
bit
Is you go 1, 2, 3. This one. So otherwise,
Yeah.
otherwise you can be like, I'm picking this one. Then they're like, oh.
Yeah, you
Oh,
may as
I'm
well do
picking
yeah.
this one.
And in fact, that's the only fair way to do it.
I know
yeah,
a lot of
that's
these.
fucking great.
A lot of the booklet says to write things down secretly. There's a lot of writing things shit down secretly.
Yeah, well then that's why you have the app and that's why you have the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. This is, I am hoping, hope amongst hope, that the app is going to cut down the amount of bookkeeping we have to do because holy shit, the
Yeah.
amount of bookkeeping just going through this.
I was going to
is
wait till the end to
astounding.
talk about that, but yeah, like you'll bring your pencil and your pencil sharpener because it's going to wear out real quick.
It's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to remember how many models you've killed, or you've got to remember how many, but this model came back, so scratch that off. Like, the amount of
Yeah.
bookkeeping is just absurd.
There's a lot.
It's going to be a thing for sure.
We've still got one more mission.
Yeah.
So there's 8 missions, which means effectively if you're playing a weekend tournament, it's
Wait,
perfect full games every day.
we didn't actually talk about the secondary for that mission. So it's
It's back we go.
so there's priority targets. You get 3 points if you control either, and 5 points if you control both.
That's
Yeah.
why we picked the priority
Yeah,
objectives, yeah.
exactly.
So if you control your one, you get 3 points every turn. If you control both of them, you get 5 points for that
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah.
That's your one and the opponent's one.
Yeah.
uh,
But
Which
not,
is-
but not
If you've got the
any of them.
opponent's
Yeah.
one,
but
you kind of already win in
Well,
the
not
game,
necessarily.
right? Because they're not going to give it up.
there's times and you play games and you've switched deployment zones because you've maneuvered around each other.
Yeah,
I've had
that
it
does
happen
happen.
before.
But I'm not giving up my. But again, because you
target.
know what the other person's.
Oh,
picked,
you
right?
didn't choose to
So
give it
you're
up.
defending yours like a motherfucker.
Like one poor intercessor squad is like, well, shit. The enemy army's here, and my army's over that side.
Fuck.
The last one's retrieval mission. Is hold 1, hold 2, hold more, the usual. 6 objectives, shortage to shortage.
Short.
Add up the number of units. This is
This is the wording of this is fucking.
Just
And I know I know that it's so you can't be like, well, actually, I think what you found is there's a big fucking gaping hole in the way this is written where I can actually.
Rules as written.
Yeah, fuck that shit. You people are why we have to read these fucking ridiculous goddamn rules these days.
Even though we're going to read it out, I
it.
do recommend that you go read it yourself because.
A paragraph to just say moves.
Oh my god.
So
basically,
there you go. You can do it.
basically, you go through your army and go, I have this many units, which means that my army has this many army points.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the game, you work out how many army points you have left. And I should say, if you split a tactical squad up into, so you have a 10-man tech squad and you break it into 2 units, you get an extra army point for that to your total. If you have a Custodes Terminator squad and you go, hey, I'm going to turn these all into single boys, you get extra army point for each one of the extra squads you get.
If you're a guard and you've got 2 conscript blobs and you merge them together,
You minus
lose
1.
a point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or
So it's basically the end. You may as well have counted up at the end.
Mhm.
Just fucking whatever.
So I think.
And then at the end, you work out how much is left
Yep.
from your army points.
But
If-
there's a weird line in that which I can't get my head around.
Let's do this first. And then
Okay,
we'll
so
get
if
to
you
it.
have over 75% of your force still remaining, you get 15 points. Over 50%, you get 10 points. And over 25%, you get 5 points.
And you work that out based on the army points you started
Yeah.
with and what you ended with,
Exactly.
which is, it's maths as fuck and kind of ridiculous. But
There's a line in it which I don't get. You
Yeah.
do not include units that joined your army during the game.
Yes, that one doesn't make sense.
you also count your army points before you put things in reserve.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Like, and if you're counting Terminator squads and the tactical squads splitting up, that's adding during the game.
No, because
But-
you're not adding extra units.
But Deep
Yeah.
Strike is.
Well, you kind of are though.
Yeah, we are.
You
for the-
are.
for
So
the
does
sense of it.
does that include demons that you summon? Does
But-
it
but I
include
pay-
reserves?
But demons, I have to pay for and
Exactly.
allocate at the start of my thing.
but
It's
so-
very confusing.
but is it
But
better?
I guess no, I guess I do make sense of that actually, because they're not, because you wouldn't count them until they show up, because you don't know what you're showing, what you're bringing until they show
So
up.
what you're telling me is that everything I've got set aside for summoning, when I bring it in, isn't worth any points to me. So there's like a good
No.
500
But you
points,
could bring
etc.
in, but you could bring in one big bubble blood letters, or you could bring in like 4 chaos spawn, and
But
that's
the
what it's
wording-
trying to take into
the
account.
wording is things that have joined your army during the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're saying it's summoning, well, that means that's potentially like 500 points worth of stuff.
That's good for you. That means
But
you
that's
can
fu-
lose those and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, they don't count towards your end.
Yeah, that's better. That's better for you. Stop whinging. You're on the-
I just find it as a weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Because when you
it's
have to-
fucking weird.
yeah.
Because if you're counting the other stuff, why wouldn't you count that stuff?
I guess because I've got in my head that, you know, if you pay for it, it's part of your army.
yeah.
Like, whether you're just allocating points, like, even when you design. Although I'm thinking about Battlefield. It'll be interesting to see how the app deals with
Heads up
some
for
of
an FAQ on this one, because
Yeah.
Or clarification of some sort.
just something. Because this
Yeah.
is weird.
But the thing is, it could be related to, because I'm pretty sure they've written all the
I told you to
codexes.
stop whinging, and I feel really bad about it. I'm sorry.
Shut up.
It's okay. I'm sure they've written codexes for most of the armies already, so there's probably things in there that we don't know about yet
So
that
they
might
can-
relate to
It
this.
could be
drag,
talking about stuff.
drag that out over the next 12 months.
Yes, there's another
Yeah.
12 months of things to come up. Guys,
12 months
I mean,
of no balance, where every new codex throws the whole thing out,
Yeah.
and then we throw it out again.
yeah, I mean, that's
Just dump them all at
the
once.
hype train is a double-edged sword, people, because for everything you're getting, you're losing something else. It's
Like, just honestly,
Yeah.
this time around, you've already established your tournament scene. We've got the core rules. You're saying that we're still running the 8th edition codexes. Just dump all the 9th edition codexes at the same time, because people are going to buy what they want to buy regardless of
because
whether
then you buy the army because you're excited about it, and then the next codex comes out and you go, oh shit, they sound pretty good too. Maybe I'll buy some of them as well.
Especially anyone who's just gone
Grim.
into the hobby.
Grim,
Yeah,
grim,
yeah,
grim.
yeah, yeah.
Grim, 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 grim,
Welcome
grim.
to capitalism.
I mean, they always want to keep hype. They don't have long periods where they are not exciting their player base.
Yeah, I mean the hype fatigue is real, but yeah, that's a whole.
So that's basically all the missions.
There's the missions. That's how they
At
work.
least in the tournament pack. There's the ones in the match play, but we're not talking about those.
Yeah, because if you're playing match play, you're just going to be playing tournament missions anyway.
Well, yeah, pretty much, because this is the stuff you'll work yourself on to figure out how.
I don't know why they've got all the ways to play. We only need 2.
I think it's purely so people can use
One.
every book.
It's literally just because we said you could use Vigilus, so we've got to give you a fucking.
Gotta give you
place where
something to
can
do it.
use Vigilus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
Do you think that they're going to stop?
Are you doing slam poetry?
Do you think that GW will stop doing specialist detachments?
I think they're gonna get rolled up into the codexes. At least certain parts.
I think that I think we're going to see more Decurions, more of that shit in the actual
So back to
codexes
seventh kind of
themselves.
style.
Because some of the
Yeah.
specialist detachment, special rules and stratagems for like guard stuff got put into the Psychic Awakening, and then some of the Psychic Awakening they said is going to end up in the new codexes. So eventually, everything before it's going to be. I think once the codexes come out, everything before
Clean
that
slate,
will
but
be
it's all
gone.
going to be in the codexes.
So you can use your books as much as you want until the new codex come out, and then you might as well set it on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But that's the way I see it. And to be honest, that's the way I would want it, because I don't see any point in people still having to bring back books from 12 months ago to still play the game today.
It's only 12 months old.
Yeah. Less than. For Psychic Awakening, man.
So for a lot of people, like that's like a full day's worth of wages.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, well,
Especially here, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of money to throw in to be pretty much revoked straight away.
Fucking buck.
But that's why I hope with the app and the codexes that things get updated and it's not going to cost us too much more.
You know that you're going to get your digital codex, and then you're going to have to buy the other digital codex to update that digital
The
codex.
codex. Yeah.
you know
Let's
that
not
you-
get into that.
Your digital codex is going to cost the same as the physical codex anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, wow.
especially here, man.
All right. We get into bash.
Yeah.
Now that points are out,
Mhm.
rules are out, mission packs are out.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm excited. You know, even Eldar, they got like hit hard. I think I can do well with them. My sisters, I'm loving it. There's so many different ways I want to play them. Like, oh man, I have a mech list. Oh man, but I still got this foot list. You know, oh, I got a blend of the two as well. I got all these ideas I want to try, and
It's
I think
that new edition list building like
Yeah.
explosion, eh?
it's the
Yeah.
Crimean explosion of list building.
Yeah.
I love it with beginning editions. You get all these crazy ideas, crazy lists, and
Just want to try shit.
they all just. I love it because we don't reach that point where everyone has just the optimized thing.
Oh, so I'm going to play this army that's going to work this
Yeah.
way. Oh,
Wait.
you have that Space Wolves list.
Like,
or
where's
you
your
have that
Riptides?
Iron
Why
Sands list.
do you want to lose? It's like, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't have a trip tied, you might as well go
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, it's great. I see great potentials, and I think it's gonna be a lot less stagnant because you can build a list and you can choose secondaries to match your army. But there's always going to be an optimum. There always is. But at least for the beginning part, we're gonna see a lot of interesting shit happen.
What about you, man?
As I said, I'll withhold judgment until the codexes drop, because I think that's when
Yeah, I think
that's
you're
when
right,
this
yeah.
edition is either going to come into its own or it's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
Because
18 months, I reckon.
for
For
them to
all the
roll them
codex?
all out, or for them to start dropping.
I reckon we'll get a codex every.
I think we'll get codexes
Every month or
very
so.
quickly after
You
it
reckon?
drops. Yeah.
I'd like it. I'd like that.
The
But I
thing is-
think,
No. I think
Is-
we'll get the first one very quickly. I'm saying it's still probably take 18 months to a year for all of them to
Yeah,
come
but
out.
the thing is, right, especially because they've brought out a book that's specifically GT, you know, the GT, the tournament book, right? Balance for the tournaments means that those codexes all kind of have to be balanced together. And if you're saying, hey, I'm running a 9th
Dreaming.
edition codex, and you're still running an 8th edition codex,
Yeah.
guess who's got the advantage?
Yeah, no, that's going to be a problem.
yeah.
And it's always going to be a problem. Neo codexes are generally always better than the older codex.
Yeah, Sisters are a prime example of that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Sisters are the first 9th codex.
Yeah.
They are the first 9th
And that's
edition
an
codex.
example. So they,
And they'll probably be the next 9th edition codex.
Yeah,
So they're
yeah.
great now, and they're probably going to be bad later. But I think we'll probably leave it off there. And then
Yeah. I'm excited.
I'm happy.
yeah, look, I'll go into it with open arms and open eyes. But
Yeah.
as I said, the balance isn't going to be apparent until all the codexes are dropped.
Exactly.
I think that's fair.
All
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a lovely week, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Next time, yeah.
Sweet.
See you next time.
Instagram, Facebooks, Minor Conflicts, YouTubes, stuff.
Old deeds.
You don't even have an Instagram account.
I do.
Did you get one now?
When did you change the name?
What do you mean?
It's no longer Thursday drinks or midweek drinks. Now you're calling it
Vox-Feed.
Vox
It's been
Mackie.
for a while. You
It's been
have
like
not
for-
been keeping up to date
We
with
changed
the
it
channel.
because
Oh my
people
gosh.
didn't understand what it was.
Yeah, the Thursday part was throwing people off because of time zones and stuff.
Oh, true. See you
Yeah.
next New Zealand Thursday.
Not just that. Tons of people looking for 40K stuff is like, what's Thursday drinks? Nothing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
says 40K.
Ah, true. Yeah, fair enough. All right. See you
Bye.
later.
Alan's already go.